Hi, I'm Vishal from Team Clad Prep. Now let's go through the analysis of the critical reasoning section. Coming to the first passage, which was talking about Qatar hosting the World Cup. Let's talk about the first question. Which of the following answer choices would weaken Qatar's claim in the bidding process? Let's go option by option. If we talk about option A, the recent COVID-19 outbreak that has assumed the role of pandemic. Now this is something which would create a concern for all the countries of the world and not only Qatar. Therefore, I would say option A gets easily eliminated here. So let's eliminate option A. Talking about option B, reports of an impending terrorist attack on the newest construction site of a football stadium. Now this would create a cause of concern, so let us skip it for the time being because it would weaken. Coming to option C, Qatar can fit in only 1 million tourists through the entire World Cup campaign and the proceeds from the sales of tickets. Now nowhere in the passage one can make out that profit is the motive behind it. So option C easily gets eliminated. And now if we talk about option D, it is trying to predict the future events based on some past events, hence option D also gets eliminated. So therefore the right option for this question would be option B. Right? Let's move on to the second question now. The second question asks you which of the following answer choices, if true, would strengthen Qatar's claim in the bidding process. Now again, let's go option by option. If we talk about option A, country with good infrastructure alone is eligible to host a World Cup. This we can keep it because overall essence of the passage, if you talk about, Qatar is spending billions of money just to create good infrastructure. So A can be taken for the time being. Let's talk about option B, a country that is a tough competitor to the top teams eligible to the host the World Cup, or option C also performs well on field. They are talking basically about those countries which are football playing nations. Qatar actually plays football or not, it is nowhere mentioned in the passage. Therefore B and C can be eliminated. Option D is trying to weaken the argument. It is talking about low temperatures, while Qatar is a country where the temperature might reach 120 degrees. Therefore D also gets eliminated. Hence I would say the correct answer to this question would be option A. Rest all easily gets eliminated. Moving on to question number 3. Which of the following is the author's main purpose of writing the passage? Option A and option B here can be easily eliminated because nowhere it was discussed about controversy or some events leading to Qatar's winning bidding. The entire essence of the passage क्या है यहाँ पर basically ये तो देखा जा रहा ऑप्शन सी के अकॉर्डिंग कि कुछ कंट्रीज दे वर अंडर द शॉक, बट वी कैन नॉट से वेदर दे वर अनहैप्पी और नॉट. सो ऑप्शन सी ऑल्सो गेट्स एलिमिनेटेड. ऑप्शन डी की बात करें, पूरे पैसेज का एसेंस यही निकल के आ रहा है कि देयर इज अ डिस्कशन वाई about FIFA's decision to award Qatar the opportunity host the World Cup. Option D rightly fits in the essence. Therefore, here answer would be option D. A, B, C eliminates here. Now, if we talk about the fourth question, which was the last question of this passage, which of the following statements would fit perfectly in the blank? ये जो आपको blank दिखाई दे रहा है यहाँ पर, इसी पैराग्राफ का जो फर्स्ट लाइन है रिगार्डिंग द ब्लिस्टरिंग हीट, एंड आने वाले पैराग्राफ्स में आपने देखा है हाउ कतार एक्चुअली स्पेंड बिलियंस ऑफ मनी टू ओवरकम द कंसर्न ऑफ द हीट. सो आई वुड से ऑप्शन ए, हीट इज नॉट बी एन इशू, राइटली फिट्स इन दिस ब्लैंक. B, C, infrastructure money was not a problem at all, therefore it won't fit into the blank. And option D, tourism, is out of scope of the passage. Therefore, in this case, our answer would be option A. Let's move on to passage number 2 now, which was all about FMCG companies. Question number 5. Reliance response is based on which of the following assumptions? Again, let's talk about option A. If other competitors can make a foray, we are not talking about competition. The passage never suggested that. A can be easily eliminated here. So let's eliminate option A. Moving forward, option B says there is a room enough in the market for at least one more brand. Amazon and Flipkart already existed in the online market. Now Reliance also moved in the same line. It is obviously under the assumption that there is room enough. अगर ऐसा नहीं होता, अगर स्पेस ही नहीं है मार्केट के अंदर, तो why Reliance would have entered? So let's skip B for the time being. Option C की बात करें, option C and D are talking about the productivity, which was nowhere mentioned in the passage. So let's eliminate option C and D. Hence our correct answer would be option B. Moving to question number 6 now, which is Which of the following statements should begin the next paragraph of the passage? Now, if you talk about option A, B, and D here, they are quite introductory. So therefore, A, B, D can be straight away eliminated. Now let me give a reason why C should be the answer. C talks about improving sales, and the last two paragraph was based on the source of the materials. So company पहले obviously sourcing की बात करेगा, कहाँ से वो raw materials लाए या कहाँ से वो groceries लेकर के आए, और उसके बाद it would talk about the various tie-ups to be taken place to improve sales. Hence option C here I would say correctly fits, and hence answer is B, option C. Now moving forward, question number 7 की बात करें अगर अपन अब, in evaluating the research by Mintel, an organization concerned about investing in the Indian e-retail market would be most interested in having the author clarify which of its following questions. ये यहाँ पर research आया है which is talking about India's lockdown, and then there are predictions made on the basis of this. So it is very obvious they will be talking about the consistency. If one is eyeing Indian e-retail market, I would say they would be looking at the consistency of the growth. Hence option D would definitely fit the answer. I mean option D is the correct answer here. फिर moving forward to the question number 8. Each of the following statements, if true, would help to support the author's claim above, except if you talk about option A, B, and C, they are talking about FMCG, while option D is concerned with the electronics goods, which is nowhere mentioned in the passage, which is not a part of the passage. Therefore, option D definitely would not help to strengthen. Answer is option D. Moving forward to passage number 3, which was about genomic analysis. Question number 9. Which of the following statements could be the most plausible conclusion made by the panelist? If you look at the second line of the passage, which is advise the government on the technical issues to convene a scientific panel to evaluate the risk and recommend policies to govern access to such data, our definite answer would be option B. The panel concluded rightly that current policies should be changed, and it is very evident from the second last line of the passage. Now moving further, question number 10. Which of the following statements could pose the highest risk associated with free and open access to genetic data? Now if you look at the third para, because it would pose some risk, I would say option D definitely is the answer here, because it is talking about the risk that the free access would fall into the hands of some terrorist organization who would use them to create weapons. So therefore option D here is the correct answer. Moving forward, question number 11. Which of the following statements should easily fit in the blank at the beginning of the second paragraph? Now in the second paragraph, if you see the further lines, indeed it is the official policy that access to this data should be free, unfettered, and anonymous. So looking at all the options which would connect well to this line, and also the coming lines where it is talking but while free and open access to this data is boon to science, it carries some risk. Talking about option A, equally remarkable is the fact that most of this data are available to everyone for free, basically fits into this line because it connects well to the coming lines. Option A would be the answer. Option D can be straight away eliminated because it is saying that it is indeed the official policy and it should be free. Therefore, it is talking about it should not be. Option D easily gets eliminated. B and C talk about the surprise element, whether it is surprising, whether it is not surprising, doesn't fit well. Hence, I would go with option A. Moving forward, question number 12. Which of the following is not an assumption made in the passage? Option A, if there are risks, they have to be averted. Option B, if there are risks, there may be those who want to take advantage. ये तो obviously आपके passage के essence से निकल के आ रहा है. But if we talk about option C, if there are risks, the National Academies of Science must be approached. It is too very specific. So this should not be an assumption made. Hence, option C is the answer here. Moving further to question number 13. Now this is a straight away single question based on statements and assumptions. अभी तक 3 पैसेज कर चुके हैं followed by 4 questions each. Now question number 13 was a single question statement. Now fruit vendors are applying sunscreen lotion on fruits to reduce the damage to their peels caused by excessive heat. Fruit vendors are applying, क्या कर रहे हैं? सनस्क्रीन लोशन अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. कहाँ अप्लाई कर रहे हैं? ऑन द पील्स ऑफ द फ्रूट्स. एंड वाई दे आर अप्लाइंग? टू रिड्यूस द डैमेज कॉज्ड बाय एक्सेसिव हीट. असम्पशन नंबर 1 क्या है? सनस्क्रीन लोशन विल रिड्यूस द डैमेज. अगर ये नहीं होता, अगर ये उनका असम्पशन नहीं है, तो दे वुडंट हैव अप्लाइड हियर. सो ऑब्वियसली असम्पशन 1 तो यहां पर इम्प्लिसिट है. आई वुड से असम्पशन 1 इज इम्प्लिसिट. कमिंग टू 2, एक्सेसिव हीट डजंट कॉज एनी डैमेज टू द पल्प ऑफ फ्रूट्स. पूरे स्टेटमेंट में वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट पील्स एंड इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट पल्प. इट इज आउट ऑफ स्कोप. देयरफॉर आंसर इज ऑप्शन ए, दैट इज ओनली assumption 1 follow. Now moving further, question number 14, which is again a single question based on statements and conclusion. The question was, it is surprising that foreign cricket players are making a beeline to IPL, a cricket league organized by India. Surprising है कि foreign cricket players are making a beeline, मतलब they are attracted by this cricket league organized by India. But nowhere in this statement it is given कि क्यों हो रहे हैं वो. सो अगर कंक्लूजन की बात करें, नंबर 1 कंक्लूजन सेज फॉरेन क्रिकेट प्लेयर्स आर ऑफर्ड फैट पे पैकेजेस. इट इज नोवेयर मेंशन्ड इन द स्टेटमेंट. सेकंड, फॉरेन क्रिकेट प्लेयर्स आर इंप्रेस्ड बाय द वे आईपीएल इज ऑर्गेनाइज्ड. ये भी कहीं भी नहीं गिवन है कि वेदर दे आर इंप्रेस्ड और इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द फैट पे पैकेजेस. देयरफॉर हियर आंसर वुड बी डेफिनेटली डी, दैट इज नीदर कंक्लूजन 1 nor conclusion 2 follow. Moving further to question number 15, which is a para based question. Now this is basically talking about Bangladesh and the Australian cricket team. Steve Smith warned his national side against compliancy. अगर main points की बात करें इस para की, तो यहाँ पर Steve Smith has warned his national side. Bangladeshis are hoping for an upset victory. Bangladesh would be the only Asian team qualifying matches for the Cricket World Cup final. Now let's talk about the conclusion. It is talking about what can be concluded here. So option A, it is unlikely that Bangladesh wins against Australia. It cannot be concluded because Bangladesh are hoping for an upset victory and Steve Smith has also warned his national side against any compliancy. मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा easy नहीं लेना है इसको. Hence option A cannot be concluded. Option B, Australia may not take Bangladesh seriously. It is very obvious. जो first line of the paragraph है यही इसके against में है. So option B definitely नहीं होगा. Option C, Bangladesh would qualify for the finals of the Cricket World Cup for the first time. इसके बारे में कोई इंफॉर्मेशन गिवन ही नहीं है पैराग्राफ में. Therefore option C also gets eliminated. Hence here the correct answer would be option D, which is none of these. Moving forward, question number 16, which is again a single para based question. It is basically talking about the indication that interest in MBA is waning. मतलब यहाँ पर एक कंक्लूजन आ गया या ओपिनियन यही आया है कि इंटरेस्ट इन एमबीए इज वेनिंग. और ऐसा क्यों हुआ है? इट इज क्लेमिंग दिस ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द सेल ऑफ एप्लीकेशंस लाइक 1,85,409 एप्लीकेशंस हैज बीन सोल्ड ओवर द काउंटर. यहाँ पर ये लिखा हुआ है, मेंशन्ड है, compared to last year sales of 2,17,000 and 4 years ago it was 2,81,000. So basically if you see the trend, the sale of application has been dropping. But यहाँ पर एक चीज़ देखने वाली बात है, वो ये है, ये टोटल सेल्स की बात कर रहा है, जबकि दिस इज टॉकिंग अबाउट ओवर द काउंटर सेल्स. सो अगर मुझे इनके रीजनिंग में फ्लॉ निकालना है, आई वुड से ऑप्शन सी डेफिनेटली वुड बी द आंसर. दिस ईयर एप्लीकेशंस हैव आल्सो बीन सोल्ड ऑनलाइन, और जबकि यहां पर ये जो फिगर था ऑफलाइन सेल्स था, सॉरी ओवर द काउंटर था. सो देयरफॉर अगर मैं ऑनलाइन सेल्स को भी यहां पर इंक्लूड कर दूं, द फिगर माइट राइज. देयरफॉर द क्लेम मेड हियर माइट सबसाइड. Hence answer would be option C. Let's move on to question number 17. Recent analysis said that country FERAC needs to import or produce more ammunition on a war footing basis because the level of ammunition reserves has depleted to an alarmingly low level. In case of a warlike situation in which FERAC were to go to a battlefield, analysts reported saying that the ammunition reserves FERAC has now will not last then for more than 15 days. तो एक तो ये बता रहा है कि 15 दिन से ज़्यादा लास्ट नहीं करेगा और it has depleted to an alarmingly low level, ये भी एक cause of concern है. Therefore, they need to import or produce more ammunition on a war footing basis. So why they need to import or produce? It is under the assumption that it is not desirable for FERAC to have such low ammunition. That is why the passage is of the opinion, the para is of the opinion that FERAC needs to import or produce more ammunition. Again, option B, a country should be able to withstand for more than 15 days. Obviously, it is again a valid assumption because it will not last for more than 15 days and it is creating a concern, and that is why they need to import. Hence, both option A and B is a valid assumption made here. Hence, answer here would be option C. In fact, that is both option A and B is the correct answer. Moving further to question number 18 now, which is talking about the sales of pulses, which is in India, the overall sales of pulses have recently begun to drop. This is because there is a steep increase in the average price per packet of pulses over the last 12 years. So क्यों drop हो रहा है? क्योंकि there is a steep increase in the average prices. अब क्या हो रहा है? One of the major manufacturers of pulses reduced the prices by 25%. Other pulses manufacturers have announced that they will follow the suit, and therefore the motive is to improve sales here. Now the question says, the claim made by the author here is, it is likely that the level of overall sales of pulses will rise significantly. So based on this, the author claims that now the sales will increase. Now which of the following would it be most useful to establish the evaluating the argument? इवैल्यूएट करना है मुझे. ऑब्वियसली आई विल लुक एट व्हाट द स्टेप्स हैव बीन टेकन. अगर ऑप्शन ए की बात करें, वेदर द प्राइसेस दैट सुपरमार्केट्स चार्ज फॉर दिस पल्सेस विल रिफ्लेक्ट द लोअर प्राइसेस द सुपरमार्केट्स विल बी पेइंग द मैन्युफैक्चरर्स. सुपरमार्केट्स जो प्राइसेस अब मैन्युफैक्चरर्स को पे करने जा रहे हैं, दैट विल बी 25% लोवर्ड. और अगर उसका रिफ्लेक्शन उन प्राइसेस पे आता है जो सुपरमार्केट अपने कंज्यूमर से चार्ज करने जा रहा है, देयरफॉर द एवरेज प्राइस वुड फॉल डेफिनेटली. और अगर ऐसा होता है तो जो क्लेम था कि नाउ द सेल्स माइट इंक्रीज, सेल्स क्यों ड्रॉप हुआ था? बिकॉज ऑफ द स्टीप इंक्रीज इन द एवरेज प्राइस. तो अगर एवरेज प्राइस गिर जाता है तो सेल्स वुड इंक्रीज इवेंचुअली. अगर ऐसा होता है तो इट इज वेरी ऑब्वियस देयर वुड बी ए क्लियर कट केस कि जो मोटिव था मैन्युफैक्चरर्स का या फिर इस पूरे पैराग्राफ का वो 100% फुलफिल हो रहा है. लेकिन अगर उस प्राइस का रिफ्लेक्शन सुपरमार्केट अपने प्राइसेस पे नहीं लाता है, मतलब दे वुड कंटिन्यू टू चार्ज द सेम फ्रॉम द कंज्यूमर्स, देन देयर विल बी नो ड्रॉप इन द एवरेज प्राइस. देयरफॉर द सेल्स वुड नॉट go up. Hence, option A clearly catches the essence. Option A would be the correct answer here. Moving on to question number 19. Vinay, it is an alarming fact that 85% of the Indian population now report that they know someone who is unemployed. Rahul, you should consider the fact that a normal and moderate level of unemployment is 8%, with 2 out of 25 workers unemployed. So at any given time, if a person knows approximately 50 workers, one or more will very likely be unemployed. ये राहुल का कहना है कि ये तो बहुत नॉर्मल है कि मॉडरेट लेवल ऑफ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट क्या है, 8% है. मतलब आउट ऑफ एवरी 25 वर्कर्स यू नो 2 इज क्वाइट लाइकली टू बी अनएम्प्लॉयड. एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस इट इज सेइंग दैट अगर if a person knows, let's say 50 workers approximately, so there will be at least one worker who is unemployed. So therefore राहुल का तो ये कहना है ये बहुत, it is not alarming, it is actually going against the claim made by Vinay. So let's see, Rahul's argument is structured to lead to which of the following as a conclusion? The current level of unemployment is not moderate. This is not what Rahul says. Option B, the fact that 85% of the people know someone who is unemployed is not an indication that unemployment is abnormally high. This is what Rahul is trying to establish here. I would say option B is the correct answer, obviously. Moving further, question number 20 to 22 was based on a small passage. The passage talked about the kidnapping case of the son of Charles Lindbergh. Now, question number 20. According to the passage, which of the following statements is definitely true? Hotman was the kidnapper of the infant son of Charles Lindbergh. As per the passage, Hotman never confessed that he kidnapped, though he was found guilty, but he never confessed. So therefore, option A is ruled out. Option B, Hotman was not the kidnapper of the infant son. So again, he was found guilty. So whether they have proof or not, it is not mentioned. So I cannot definitely conclude it. Therefore, option B also gets eliminated. Option C, Hotman was electrocuted because he was not willing to confess his role in the kidnapping. He was electrocuted because he was not willing to confess doesn't give a proper cause and effect relationship. Therefore, C also gets eliminated here. Hence, here answer would be option D. It is definite. None of the options given here can be definitely true here. So option D will be the correct answer. Moving further, question number 21, which is, which of the following statements can be inferred from the given passage? Option A, the court, finding no further evidence to prove Hotman's innocence and no further cooperation from Hotman, found it best to serve him with a death sentence. ना तो कोर्ट के पास कोई एविडेंस मिला कि प्रूव कर दे, दो इट फाउंड गिल्टी, बट कोई एविडेंस नहीं था, और हॉटमैन के तरफ से भी कन्फेशन नहीं आया था, बट स्टिल ही वाज इलेक्ट्रोक्यूटेड. सो इट कैचेस द एंटायर एसेंस हियर. ऑप्शन ए can be kept for some time. Option B देखते हैं. The court, finding no further evidence to prove Hotman's innocence, found it best to serve him with a death sentence. Part of option A only. Option C में आए, the court, finding no further cooperation from Hotman, again it is a part of option A. So B and C are mentioned in parts. Option D की बात करें, the court was unfair in its decision. This is totally out of scope because we are not here to judge the court's decision. Therefore, I would say here the correct answer would be option A. B and C are mentioned in parts, इसलिए eliminate हो गया. Option D out of scope है यहाँ पर. Hence, answer A will be correct here. Moving further, question number 22. Which of the following is an assumption made in the passage? Now, not accepting charges of a crime is tantamount to being the criminal, or to being the criminal. Then second, not defending yourself in an allegation of a crime is tantamount to being the criminal. C, unable to provide evidence to refute allegations of a crime implicates one in a crime. Now this makes sense if you actually read the passage. Neither Hotman was able to provide evidence to prove himself innocent, and he didn't confess that he was the kidnapper. Also, the jury didn't find any evidence, though they found him guilty, but there was no evidence, and he was electrocuted. Therefore, he was implicated as a criminal, but there was no evidence. I would say option C would be the correct assumption here made. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Moving further to question number 23 now. Again, it is a small passage which is talking about the famous song which is Kolavaridi. We'll be doing question number 23 to 26 here. Let's look at question number 23. What is the argument in the passage about? Option A, the decline in the quality of music today. It is very generalized, so it cannot be the argument. Option B, whether the song Kolavaridi is comparable to the classics of the past. The song is not compared with the classics. It is the overall trend of the music which is at present being compared to the classics of the past. So B is eliminated. Option C, the success of the song Kolavaridi. Yes, from various parts of the passage, you can actually take it from the third paragraph also. They are actually talking about the success. Option D, whether contemporary Indian music could be compared to that of the West. It is totally out of scope. So here A, B and D easily gets eliminated. Hence, our answer would be option C here. Moving further, question number 24, which is, with which of the following would the author of the passage agree? Number 1, option A, the song good or bad is definitely unique. I won't say that the author would likely to agree to this. Option B, the popularity of the song speaks for itself. No. The hits of the song as invited are evident of its success. The music cannot be compared to the classical music. Yes, this is what it is talking. It is that today's music cannot be compared to the classical music. It is the overall essence of the passage. I would say option D is the correct answer. Now, moving further to question number 25. In the first 3 paragraphs, the author defends the song on the basis of its popularity with the youth. No, it is not. as it is based on the current computer technology. No, it is not about the computer technology. Option C, as it is capable of being transformed and adapted. No. Option D, on the grounds that have been innovations in music. Yes, it can be clearly made from the second paragraph, where that the author tries to defend the song Kolavaridi on the grounds that there have been innovations. So here answer would be option D for sure. And moving on to the last question of this passage, which is question number 26, which is, in the last two paragraphs the author criticizes the song, number one, by depreciating the music and its lyrics as being substandard, clearly mentioned in the first paragraph, so we'll take one for the time being. By decrying it as a technological marvel, nowhere it is mentioned about technological marvel, so second is not. Moving to option number 3, by questioning the actual popularity of the song, this is what is being done in the third paragraph of the passage. Therefore I would say first and third, that is A and C here. It is actually first and third, A and C. Option A would be the correct answer here. So this is all about the analysis of the critical reasoning. Now further we'll be moving on to the questions based on LR and quantitative techniques by Nikhesh sir.